this photo, it's just so much sparkling light in it. It's a very complex image, so it's a challenge to simplify it. Here's my drawing, and I started off with raw sienna, and I also decided to put in something a little rosier than just burnt sienna like I usually use. So I got out some light red, and there I'm comparing it to burnt sienna. Burnt sienna is a little more orangey. So I'm going to put these colors around. I'm using my larger synthetic brush. And this is sap green. I haven't been using sap green lately, but I mixed it with the greenish yellow, and just because. And now I'm going to spread the raw sienna around. And so this will create some warmth. And the whole painting is going to be working with cools and warms. And it wasn't something I was really thinking about as I was doing it, but by the end, it's what makes the painting work well. So now I'm dropping the light red into the still wet raw sienna. And the raw sienna is rather dilute.
Doris, I'm sorry. So I don't have light red, so that would that be burnt sienna?
Yeah, use burnt sienna. It'll be fine. Okay. And here I got out my Winsor blue, and I mixed it with some of that light red, but you could also mix it with burnt sienna. And so here I'm looking at my photo and trying to keep a bit of sparkle. So you'll see how I'm holding my brush on its side, and every now and then I'll do a little dry brush action. And it's okay to leave too much of that sparkle of white because you can always glaze over it, but you can't get it back again unless you use white. Now here I immediately went into my green mix while the water was wet because I wanted the blue to blend with the foliage in the foreground. And then I also dropped in my light red at the bottom. So here's a little burnt sienna. The water on the far side below the dam where I'm painting now is shallow. It's kind of an eddy, and so you can see the bottom, the muddy bottom. So as I put in the shadow on the dam, so I put in that light chartreusey green while the shadow color on the dam was still wet. So I want this combination of hard edge and soft edge. So now I'm doing the color on the other side of the river. And there again, I'm blurring. I'm not stopping at river's edge. I'm bringing that color right down into the water. And so I have that warm color, and now I'm dropping this cool color right into it. And as this mix of Winsor blue, as it dries, it really lightens up. So I'll be able to go back in and do a more dark over that. Now here again, I'm going in with the green foliage in the foreground while my water's wet. And just adding a little warmth to that. Here I'm trying to decide what the heck to do. So I'm looking at my photograph just to get a sense of the shape that the churning water makes. Okay, back into the background. The sun is coming through the trees there. So now I can do these silhouetted trunks. So I'm not making those silhouettes a heavy dark, even though they might look like it in the photo. I'm doing my neutral mix and then dropping some color into it. Because I can always darken it, but a dense dark at this stage is really, I'm also introducing Cobalt into this neutral in the background because Cobalt's a good color for distance. And now I'm going in with richer pigments. And again, it's a interplay of warms and cools. And this is speeded up 8 times. So you can imagine there's a lot of hesitation on my part, and I'm actually painting with a lot more care. So I'm going to start getting into making interlocking shapes in this stiller water in the background here. So it looks really beautiful when I put in the stronger pigment and the lighter pigment from the earlier wash shows through. Okay, so now I'm finishing off the water above the dam in the foreground. And I'm going to be painting a yew tree today. I'll be painting that left side. So here again, I'm using dry brush with a kind of a greenish neutral mix. And I'm going over some of the sparkly bits because it's not all white. But compared to the deep dark watercolor, it still looks very light and foamy. I want to get that foamy churning look. Okay, here I'm doing that business of interlocking shapes. And I'm not even looking at my reference quite so much. This is something that you see in nature in all different forms. Is this interlocking shape business. And now I'm some darker mixes with the Winsor blue. So I end up with quite a range of value in the water. And the fairies really did a lot of work on this painting since yesterday. Mm-hmm. I'm very grateful.
Mm-hmm. You really captured the
oh, yeah. And this close-up, you can see the crude kind of brushwork in the water, but at a distance, it looks just fine.